Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Seti Saturdays. Seti Saturdays, May 18th, 2024. Welcome, welcome all. We pray all is going well with you and your families. We pray that your minds, hearts, and spirits are open to continually to learn, to gain insight and information. May you be guided by the Most High and the ancestors to truth and to the power to utilize that truth to enhance your life. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe this video and all the information that we share on our channels at Seti Inc. Make sure you reach out to us at customer service at TSetiInc.com. Get that free consultation so that you can utilize the number of uh, assets that we have to benefit you, your family, your business, etc. We are management consultants, business advisors. We deal with digital economics, digital financial literacy, decentralized cryptocurrency interaction. Our four main pillars: strategic planning, management consulting, problem solving, right? Things such as tax management, um, working capital, capital in general for expansion, for growth, contracts, HR, human resources, all of these things we do under our umbrella of management consulting, wealth creation, financial development, wealth management, knowing what to do, how to do, and how to safeguard under wealth security. Family, a lot going on continually in this world that we live in. We have to be in position today to protect ourselves in as many ways as possible against the continuous bombardment, really, of situations and circumstances coming from so many different places, maybe the root of it all is in essence coming from one source, or a concentrated source, I might say. But a number of things continue to go on, and we must continue to be vigilant. We must continue to watch these things as they are affecting each and every one of us. All of us all across the planet are being affected by these continuous onslaughts of things that are taking place. Now, we say, why should you be in decentralized finance? Why should you learn about it? Why should you know about it? Why should it become a part of your conversation in your family, a part of everyday life, a part of all the things that you are watching over to ensure the security and safety of your family? Well, as we've been saying continually, there is a movement by the elites, by the governments, by central banks, to formalize or strengthen the power of their control over money. And anyone who has the opportunity to take control over our capital has the power, in essence, to take control over our lives, because we need money to survive. This is a system in which those of us who may not have much are being affected greatly. But in today's world, even the so-called middle class in Western countries is shrinking. Um, Even those who may be above the middle class, reports continue to come out that people don't feel the sense of any real gain, even when they get raises and etc. And so we know that in a macro sense, in a macro sense, the world's economic reality is under uh, duress. So there was a recent report that came out where Mr. Nagel, president of Deutsche Bank, he's a German central banker, he's calling for the swift adoption of CBDCs. Now, if you've been around and paying attention to what we've been broadcasting here, you would know that CBDCs are central bank digital currencies. These are tools, uh, money tools, by which the world is now moving to digitalize capital, because the central banks throughout the world already control money. However, they do not have absolute control, if you will. But the usherance, the issuance, the bringing in of a CBDC will in fact give them pretty much absolute control. Now, what I want to really focus on in here, because we've already been iterating the fact that at this point, there's no contention as to whether this is going to happen or not. 98% of all central banks are doing something with CBDC, and that means either using them, testing them, strategizing about them. 98% of central banks today are utilizing and looking to put this into action and into play, and they're some stage of development, right? So Mr. Nago begins to make some very key statements as to why there seems to be this necessity. Now, he says there's an urgency, right? He says there's an urgency for central banks to reassess their models and swiftly adopt central bank digital currencies. Why? Why is the central bank saying this? Well, I'm going to read his words in a moment, but I'll tell you that they are concerned about the control that they have because of the technologies of blockchain, decentralized finance, which are giving average everyday people, in particular, everyday average people, the opportunities that we have never had before. The potential, the opportunity to gain wealth, the potential, the opportunity to actually be in control of our own funds and therefore our own lives. This is unprecedented. And this is causing ripple effects across the planet. Friends, family, we need to be aware and watchful because power concedes nothing but power. And those who have power and who have had power for generation upon generation upon generation are not so eager to give up anything, even a crumb of power to us. But we have been blessed with the technology now that is giving us the capacity. Again, we must do our part. We must listen. We must learn. We must adapt. We must grow. We must not be fearful. We must take some risk. There is a huge risk to doing nothing. There's risk to everything in life, but there's a tremendous risk if we do nothing because that may lead us to ultimately become slaves in this quote new world order that has been talked about for generations. That new world order system is continuing to be built out, and people are making determinations for the masses as to where the masses will be put or placed in that new world order. So, what does he say here? He says, if you would have asked me 20 years ago if the central bank business model was destroyable or not, I would have said no. Now, I'm not so sure anymore. Do we understand? He is clearly making a statement that there is a sense of pressure that many central bankers are feeling that their way of doing things, their business model, if you will, is under duress. He says 20 years ago there was no way they would have considered it to be um, destroyable. But today they believe it could be destroyed, that the central bank model could be destroyed. This is of a concern. And now they are moving now to adapt the technology, the same technology in terms of the blockchain. Remember, it can be utilized for centralized or decentralized applications. We want the decentralized applications. Those are the applications that benefit us, the people, the masses, the everyday man and woman. But they are moving swiftly. He says that this adoption should move at a faster pace than it even is. It is moving at a fast pace, friends. He says it's not fast enough. It needs to pick up the pace because of the sense of the rest that the central bankers feel. Friends, family, it does not stop there. Remember that we're talking about a small group in comparison to the masses of people on the planet. when you think about the elite, when you think about the central bankers, when you think about elite presidents of corporations, etc., they are a tiny group, but they are the ones who reign power because of their might, their prowess, economically in particular, and other means, but politically. They have the power at the moment, and they're sensing and feeling the rest because they feel their power may not last forever. And it should not. The Most High gave us, the people, each one of us, the ability to have power of our own. Governments are good when they act as they should in favor of the people, under the guidance and direction of what is beneficial for the people that they were elected or they are in power to um, take care of, manage, when they're doing the proper and correct things, not that which we see today. Now, pay attention, because as it goes in terms of power, one of the vehicles that is now being used in technology, using it through technology, being brought more and more into bear, is the technology of tracking us via bio biometric technology. And what is biometric technology? It is basically the ability to track us using ourselves, right? Our fingerprints, our iris scans, our facial recognition, biometrics. This is being picked up more broadly across the planet. Remember, there are always test case for these kind of things that go on in the so-called quote unquote third world, as we see here where Cameroon has just signed a 15-year deal. A 15-year deal. What, why? I'm not, I'm going to leave that alone. But 15 years, a 15-year deal, um, that's quite a long time for anybody to come and bring $32 million. No, let me see. The project will unfold in two phases for totaling funds of over $70 million, 75 million US. Cameroon paying 75 million for this technology. Is that really needed right now? Do the people of Cameroon, is that the greatest need of the people of Cameroon, to be tracked with their biometric data? Is that the greatest need? $75 million being spent by the government of Cameroon so it can track citizens better, and the tests can be rolled out for other nation states to also pick up the same technology that will track out every move. Remember, CBDC is a tracking mechanism as well, as it has the capacity to track the movement of money everywhere. They will know, people will know, the central banks will know, governments will know all your spending habits. They will all be controlled under the auspices of these types of technologies. And I should say the way they're using it, because that's really the important thing. The technology itself is not bad, it's the way the technology is being used. And so when we keep seeing these rollouts of these types of directives, projects, we got to ask ourselves what's really going on. Why would a country earmark so much money, a country, a third, quote unquote, third world nation, that its citizens are suffering from, poverty? But they seem to have found $75 million to put in a project to track its citizens under the guise of bettering its ID system. Do you really need to spend $75 million for that right now? This is what's going on, family. And the way that it will continue to be rolled out is it will always be stated that it is somehow for our benefit. We must be careful of the narratives that are being told to us. We must not simply be allow ourselves to be children who are spoon fed anything. We must study, we must dissect, we must look deeply into what we're being told so we understand, and so we have the power to push back on things that are not good for the people. Anything that is not good for the people should be pushed back. Anybody who is in power, who is in government, who is not doing that which is good for the people should not continue to be in power. That is not even the purpose of government. The purpose of government is not to suppress and bring hardship to the people. It is to bring benefit to the people. And anywhere where the people find that the government that is over them is not bringing benefit and good to them, those in government should be removed. Now, I want to continue to remind us again, you want to get in contact with us to learn more, to gain more insight about all of the things that we're doing under management consulting. We're helping businesses and people throughout to gain power and insight over ourselves and our lives, our families' lives. We have to dig deep. We have to put ourselves in play. So much is going on. We could never cover it in one broadcast, but we will continue to bring you updated information on on not only what's going on, but how we can begin to protect ourselves. Now, in this broad world of digital finance, over the last couple of weeks, we've been showing you just some insights into some charts and some particular cryptocurrencies. Again, we're focusing in on this particular one called Titanx. It is, even though it is not what we might call a blue chip coin, it is a vast ecosystem with many tie-ins to many different elements, programs, projects, and protocols. And over the last few weeks, we've been showing some of the movement of this particular currency as it has been doing its ups and downs, and as it is giving investors the opportunity, those who are interacting with it, the opportunities to gain wins, and positioning itself and those who are dealing with it for further wins. So over the last couple of weeks, we've seen it previously, we showed charts where it was sort of at its lows. It is now in a deflationary cycle, if you will. And we keep seeing continuous movement up, even though there are retracements back and forth. We keep seeing it pushing up now, seeming to maybe find its footing somewhere around this number. We hope to see that this pushes up tremendously throughout the summer months, going into June and July, as this deflationary period continues to build up. In other words, there's no increase or very little increase of the amount of this uh, crypto in effect or being produced. And there are elements that actually are engaged with it, and some new perspective that are engaged with it that seek to be able to even burn or destroy or eradicate some of the volume that currently exists. All of this, we hope, will bring about the continued value or increased valuation of the crypto itself, which will put those who interact with it in a better place. We're showing you this as one aspect of the many things that we are studying, educating our members and clients about, so that you, if you so choose to, even on your own, do your own research, certainly, can begin to look at such things and get involved right now, as we are just at the very beginning of what is believed to be potentially one of the biggest bull runs that have possibly ever existed, following the most recent Bitcoin halving. Please, friends and family, continue to stay with us, continue to gain knowledge, insight, and education about the variety of things that are going on economically, in particular, as that is our focus. Business wise, we will bring in people here and there to share their experiences as to how they are benefiting from the services we are providing here at Seti Inc. We are here to help our members and clients overcome the challenges that we are all being faced with more and more in this current cycle, this current world that we are living in. Friends and families, as we are here even speaking now, understand that particular aspects of the current system are literally dying out. New and emerging things are coming forth. But what will determine how any tool or any apparatus is used is you and I. Our interaction, our knowledge, our capacity to be involved and to become more prominent stakeholders in the governance of our own very lives is key to how the next few generations will even live, and even ourselves, how we will continue to be able to survive and thrive in a world like this that we live in. We thank you so much. We pray that the information we give is enlightening and inspiring. We pray that you share, like, and share it with your friends and family. Please make sure that people continue to gain insight. More and more, you will see that which we are speaking about here coming into fruition and beginning to become manifest reality. And if you are being guided, hopefully by much of what we're saying, if you are investigating what we're saying here, looking into it for yourself, and then utilizing that which you know and begin to see to be truth, you will be putting yourself in a safe haven. We thank you so much for joining us. Peace and power. May you continue to enjoy your weekend. We look forward to seeing you soon.